Hello, I am Natalie, Nat your doula. In case you don't know who I am already, you might have come across this video through Alice's page or shared somewhere else. It will also go onto it will go into my Instagram, Facebook, and my YouTube channel, which is also Nat your doula. I am an in-person and a virtual doula, in case you're wondering who the hell I am and what I do. So I support women and their families through their pregnancy journey, right through to their labour and birth, no matter what kind of birth they're having, and then coming through the other end. So postnatally, I support women with things like birth debriefing, postnatal support, lots of different ways I support them. I've invited along lovely Alice Clark to come and share her stories and just have a lovely relaxed chat with me today here. Alice, we've never met in person, we met online, and we're on a similar sort of page around health and things like that. So we kind of have been getting to know each other through messages, and she's helped me out with some lovely, wonderful essential oils, which we can talk about at some point if you're happy to.
Yep.
And yeah, I just thought it'd be really nice for Alice. She was happy and open and wanted to come and discuss her birth. So I'll hand over to you, Alice, if you want to just background on who you are really and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I'm in Kent and I've been on a bit of a journey with natural health. It all started when I was pregnant with my first, who is now 4, almost 5. And so it was like 2020 into 21. So the beginning of 2020, it's like March, pretty much when lockdown happened in the UK. So that was like when I started like thinking, I don't know when for you sort of start thinking like something doesn't really add up here.
Yeah,
And when I got pregnant, there was even more like questioning things, I guess. Um, and yeah, just wanted, well, I was a bit confused at first and I didn't really know what path I wanted to go down. And eventually I got to the point where I wanted to everything to be more natural.
mm,
And yeah, just sort of got to this point where I've raised 2 boys completely farmer free, and
wonderful.
yeah,
Love
that's
it.
my main.
I love that. So you've got a lockdown baby, they're called now, aren't they?
Yeah,
Born in that era. Um, okay, so do you want to talk us through your birth stories then? You can tell us as much information as you want. It's completely up to you. There's no judgment. The good, the bad, and the ugly you can share is completely fine. You can go for it.
yeah. So it's the second lockdown that Miles was born, and he's born in the end of January. So I don't know. I'm guessing that the hospitals was very quiet because it was that going on.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it was, I don't know, it would just seem so like I didn't get to see midwives for appointments. It was all over the phone, and um, like I didn't speak to the same midwife. Like they were always different, so I never had like that connection with anyone like, throughout my pregnancy. Um, and then so I didn't. I'd had a little thought about having a home birth, but I was in a flat at the time. That was mainly because people were telling me that I wouldn't be able to get to the hospital or it would be too full because of too many people in there. Which wasn't true when I actually got there. It was completely empty. But yeah, it just sort of just got brushed aside. Didn't really come back to sort of doing home birth. And then so we did go in, pretty standard labour really. And so I got started getting contractions like um, on my way to bed. So we watched a film, and then as the film ended, like I could start feeling something happening.
Mm.
And then I didn't say anything to my husband. I was just like going through it. Like I knew something was happening, and it was like every 10 minutes or so. And I thought, oh, this must be it. And he'd been on a night shift, I think. So
Oh God, so we hadn't
he had
slept.
been, yeah, so he was being awake
Why
for
does it always work
ages.
out that way?
Yeah.
Always.
So I let him go to sleep and then but I was like really restless. Like I'm just like so like uncomfortable because it felt like really intense like period cramps. And then there was a point, I think it was about, it must have been like 2 or 3 in the morning. I went and had a bath because I thought that might help a little bit. And then like I had a really intense like pressure, so I like panicked and like I don't know, I just had a bit of a meltdown. And then I think I rang the hospital then, and then when I was on the phone, like everything stopped because I was like focusing on the conversation. And then I remember, just after that we did go in, and she, well, for some reason my husband was like separated from me, which was a bit weird.
Was that
And like
because of
yeah,
restrictions they had in place or something?
yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like he had to wait in another room, and then I went into the room, and then we went into another room. It was just all a bit weird. Um, and then they like checked me over. I don't know if they checked my like dilation. I can't remember. They basically said I wasn't anywhere near. So I was like, okay, we'll go back because it's only like 10-minute drive. And I don't even know how long. I know that it was like 16 hours altogether, but it's all a bit of a blur now, like 4 years later. But yeah, it went pretty all right. We went back to the hospital at about 8 o'clock, which is when the hospital opened. So we weren't going like through the back door like we did earlier in the night. So we went straight in. I didn't want to wear a mask. So I just said no.
Mm.
But I feel like throughout the pregnancy, I was so like um, thinking about the restrictions for COVID that I wasn't really thinking about what I wanted
Yeah.
for the birth and everything. That I was just so, I didn't want to have like tests done, like that was really stressing me out. So I made a letter to decline that, which was fine. But yeah, it seemed to ramp up quite quickly. There was no like hanging around. I did try gas and air, which was absolutely disgusting. It made me feel sick.
Yeah.
Like I was
I do hear that
behind,
quite.
yeah, I was like by the sink, like thinking I was gonna throw up. I was like, oh my god, it's horrible. So I didn't want to touch that again after that. Um, and then yeah, so I was about 8 centimeters at that point when I got there, and then I was like moving around and standing in all different positions. I remember weirdly that the midwife kept following me around with a pillow and just putting a pillow underneath me, which was a bit odd. I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
Underneath you, what do you mean? Like to lean on?
I don't know. I just kept looking down, and then there'd be the pillow again. Like,
Is
why?
this trying
Like,
to be
the
handy,
baby's.
maybe?
I don't know. It was really weird. Anyway, yeah. So she was alright. I guess it's a bit hit and miss with midwives, but um, the only thing I would say that I regret with that one is like the positioning because it was all like on my back.
Okay.
Um, so I think I was like pushing for like 4 hours or something crazy like that.
4 hours of pushing.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that is exhausting.
yeah. So
Wow. Is that because
there,
they said to you you're 10 centimeters now and you're ready, or did you? Okay.
um,
What should
no,
I
they
get?
only said me when I was 8, and then yeah, just like was ramping up, and they just said push when you've got contractions sort of thing.
Right. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but I remember asking for an epidural just because I was like in so much pain, and then they're like, "Baby's gonna be here. It's too late," sort of thing. Because he was born at 10 to 3, and I think I asked that about midday,
Okay.
or about 11, half 11. But I just remember my eyes being shut for so long that when I opened them, everyone was just like staring at me. I was like, oh.
Yes.
Um, and then yeah, so I was like on my back and then on hands and knees on the bed.
Bed on your hands and knees.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I just think like I feel like there should have been more like, you know, do you want to go in this position? Do you want to go in this position? Like,
Yeah.
I
Like some
didn't really
gentle
know.
guidance, or yeah.
Yeah. And then eventually I had episiotomy, and then forceps.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
How many weeks gestation were you when you had your baby?
Um, 30 plus 6, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So how did you feel after that whole experience? I imagine the first day, the first couple of days, you're so in love with your baby. You're so amazed that you've
Yeah,
managed to do this, and you're on a high, aren't you?
yeah.
Once you were home and things had settled, what were your thoughts about the birth experience?
Um, I mean, I knew it was intense. I was quite grateful for like the length in general because I was thinking it was going to go on for hours. I know like the last bit was intense, but
And you do hear
uh,
horror stories. People love to tell you, I had a 4 day labor.
yeah. Well, my second birth's a bit like that. So
Well, there you go.
yeah. Um, but no, I don't know. I think I was grateful that I didn't have the epidural in the end. Um, yeah, I was fairly happy with how it happened. I just feel like there should have been a bit more positivity in the room and like suggesting some more relaxation and
Yeah.
yeah, and also I didn't really know about the midwife led unit at the time. Like it was just straight into a labour ward and
Mm. Was
quite
the
light.
midwife, was the MOU open during the restrictions?
So my husband was allowed in. It was a bit more laid back by that point.
No, sorry,
We
I
just
meant
had,
the midwife led unit. Where was
mm,
that open when you had your baby?
don't know, maybe it wasn't.
Yes, I'm just wondering if that was shut and that's why
Yeah,
they
maybe.
hadn't made you aware of it. I mean, I don't. I'm guessing. Who knows? Um.
Yeah,
Okay. So that was 4 years ago.
yeah.
When did you have your second baby?
He's 18 months now.
Oh, right. Okay. Nice. That's
Yeah,
lovely. Okay.
yeah,
How did that go then? How were you through the pregnancy? Were you, because obviously there were no restrictions in place and everything
yeah.
was a little bit more relaxed
I
for
feel
us in the
like
UK.
I was more on edge because I
Oh,
knew more.
okay.
So I feel like couldn't trust anyone.
Within the
Um,
hospital in the NHS.
yeah.
Okay.
Um, so I was in a different area,
Mhm.
so it was different places for appointments. But it was going fine. Everything I was feeling fine. And then it got to about probably just before the 20 weeks. I went in for just a general checkup, and she said that I had like sugars in my urine.
Okay.
So then she was talking about the gestational diabetes test,
Mm.
and I basically said I didn't want it, and which was fine. And then it would just became when I had my 20-week scan, it was, oh, he's so big, he's got a massive head, like there must be something wrong.
Mm.
Um, and then they just kept referring me to like the diabetes team. So I just said, I don't want to do the test because I hear about that drink that you have to do.
Mm.
And I know all the tests are all a bit out of, you know, like the test range is quite high.
Mm.
Um, so I just said to the diabetes team that I would test, like do a prick test for a
Mm.
week.
Mhm.
Um, and then I sent the tests to them and they said, yeah, it's fine. We don't think there's any issues there. And then I was fine to just eat a bit more healthily. So that was probably about 32 weeks by that point. Um, but yeah, from that point, it was just he's massive, and that just gets in your head really.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. So were they
and
making any suggestions early on about how he should be born maybe or when he should be born based on their
yeah,
estimate of his
so
size?
so when they said that he's massive, that she said your options are either C-section at 37 weeks or induction basically. And those were the options. And I said, why didn't you want either of those?
Mm.
Um, and yeah, at that appointment, she clearly wasn't hearing me because that was all she was talking about. Um, and there was no discussion of where I wanted to give birth. And I'd already mentioned previously I did want to have it at home, but then
Mm.
with all these things that they were saying. She never really came, like, asked me what I wanted. It's always telling you, like, this is what your options are.
Mm.
Yeah, just telling you what they're doing, basically. Which I know I watched your other live. I think it was Clarice said
Mm.
that as well. Like they just tell you, they
Yeah,
don't ask you.
we're doing this, and this is when we're doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hate the most, and also like talking to so many different people and having to repeat stuff.
Mm.
Like never, nothing gets. Well, I mean, it must get recorded, but they just don't read the notes or.
It's really frustrating because you think, okay, I've told someone, I've answered all the questions, I've told someone what they need to know, and
Yeah,
then it'll be the same day potentially someone else walks in the room, you've got to do it again, or another day, same thing again.
yeah,
And in the end, it just wears you down, doesn't it? I've been there when I had my now 8-year-old. It's constantly because I was pushing back and I was saying no to so many things,
yeah,
the gestational diabetes and additional scans and stuff like that. I was like, I don't want it, I don't want it. And then every single person I met, I had to explain why I don't want it. I mean,
yeah,
I wish I knew then what I know now, that I didn't have to explain a single thing. I just don't want to do that. Don't ask me again.
yeah,
End of. But yeah,
yeah.
we learn later, unfortunately.
I mean, I did say that I wanted the home birth, but it was getting so later and later and later, and she wasn't referring me to the home birth team. They were supposed to email me, but they never did. And then there was like a risk assessment that came through, which I didn't read, to be honest. She went through like the home birth situation, just to make sure everything was like the driveway was clear and all those health and safety stuff. But it never got to that point really. So I think I was 39 weeks, just over, so a little bit early. Was strange. So completely different to Miles. I My waters broke like in the middle of the night. Like I felt a bit strange, like I needed to go to the toilet, and then got up, and then like there was so much water.
Movie star.
Yeah. Um, I didn't like realize how inconvenient it is. It just keeps coming. Like it doesn't stop. Just like it just keeps trickling.
Hmm.
Um, and because with Miles, it didn't break until he was pretty much out, like just before he came out. Um, but yeah, with Blake, the waters broke. I think that was about 3 o'clock in the morning. And as you do, you get all excited, and um, I just wanted to go to bed. Like I just wanted to go to sleep, carry on sleeping if I could. And I did wake up my husband, and he got all excited, went and tied. I don't think we slept again. We might have just rested. And then about 7, when Miles got up, he's going to his granddad's anyway. Um, and I remember thinking that it was going to be like a similar time frame. Like
Hmm.
I feel like I put myself on a clock a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was thinking, oh yeah, 16 hours from whenever. Um, like he'll be here by the time Miles comes home, sort of thing.
Mm.
And then we were just going about our day. I felt a bit bored, to be honest. Like nothing really was happening, but it did feel really different. Like because I wasn't getting proper contractions. It was like really like intense, like not even cramps, just like
Pressure or
squeezing, I guess.
tightening?
Yeah, like a tightening. And
Yeah.
I remember saying when I got to the hospital that like it just felt strange,
Mm.
like really uncomfortable to walk. I guess it's just like him like being so low.
Mm.
But yeah, I just was watching a film. I was just moving around. It was really hot. It was like July, so I was going
Mm.
outside doing some grounding. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of pressure, like quite for a long time. So
Okay.
it was quite hard to do anything with a lot of focus. Like I
Mm.
wanted to watch a film, but I was having quite a lot of pain. That it was just, it didn't seem like it was going anywhere. Like
Yeah.
it was like with the contractions, it sort of feels like it's moving the baby down, but
Mm.
this was just painful. It was a weird feeling.
Okay.
And And then I don't know what time it was. It must have been about 4 or 5 o'clock, because I thought they've told me to call when it's like getting into evening, so that when the shift changes, they know that you're already in labour, so that the home birth team can like sort themselves out to know who's going to come later or whatever. So I called them and they said, "Oh, there's no midwives available to come out."
Yeah.
So I was just like I could just feel everything crumbling around me. No, like I didn't know what to do. I went quiet on the phone. She was like, "What do you want to do? Do you want to come in?"
You haven't given me a
Yeah. Um, my husband was listening to the conversation. He's like, "We'll just stay at home then. We'll just stay at home. And I'll just call the ambulance." Um, but yeah, I didn't know what she expected me to say. I think I said, I don't know. I'll let you know what I'm gonna do. Like I'll turn up if I need to, or I'll phone in the car if I'm coming. And she's like, "Okay." And um, we had a bit of a discussion about what was going to happen. I don't think I felt confident doing it alone. Looking back, I definitely should have had a doula, just to sort of like keep me in the zone, even if I was at hospital or wherever, just to like, be on your, like, just an extra support that sort of knows what's going to happen. Yeah, because my husband, bless him, he knew what I wanted, but when you're in like fight or flight, I guess, I just sort of didn't, I don't know, because I didn't know what was the best option, and I'd had all this like, you're gonna have a big baby drilled into me, that and I also got into my head that I hadn't felt him all day, like this whole day of labouring. I hadn't really felt it move. There probably wasn't much room in there either to move. So we did go in at just after that phone call, I think, probably like an hour after, we decided we're just going to go in and just check if everything's all right, because I'm just like in my head at this point. And that was a point where they said like that I was there for like reduced movement, which I technically was, but I was just sort of wanted it to be checked over, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I think they just held on to that bit where I was like, "Oh, I just want to check everything's all right."
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same as what I was used to. I think I just needed a bit of like positive boost, like
Reassurance.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they did the Doppler so I could hear him, and they're like, and that thing, the straps around the bump.
CTG monitor.
Yeah, that's one. And they were just testing for quite a long time, to be fair. But once I'd like heard him moving around and stuff, I was fine by that point. And then they started like telling me, "Oh, you shouldn't have him at home, and you should come in, just go to the midwife led unit instead. You don't have to go in the labour ward." And I was like, "Okay." And then I thought maybe it'll be all right because I can go in like the birth pool. So they showed me around. I wasn't really contracted or anything at this point. Um, and they showed me around, or showed both of us around the midwife-led unit. And it was like, I don't know, it felt a bit weird. Like they were showing me, "Oh, this is all the nice things we can do. You can turn down the lights and you can go in the pool. We can get the affirmations up on the screen." And I was like, "This is very different to like my first birth. Like, where's all this been hidden? Like, I haven't seen this before." And they had like all the lights and it was all like coloured walls. It didn't look like a hospital. I was like, "Oh yeah, this could work."
Yeah.
So we went away quite happy and just had some dinner when we got home. Then went to bed. And then it just sort of ramped up again. Like again, probably 3 in the morning again. So
So
this has
had it
gone
been
on
around
24 hours.
24 hours? So around 24 hours since your waters broke.
Yeah.
Were they saying anything to you at that point? Like, were they telling you that there's a certain time you need to come back because of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, they said, well, you need to come in after 24 hours anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I took that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. Need.
Yeah.
What? Why want?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't really know
So did you go back into the midwife-led unit, not into the hospital?
that well. When we went back again, um, when I rang because it had been 24 hours after, it was very much you can't go in the midwife led unit. Yeah. And on the phone I was like, no, no, I'm going in there because we did make it clear when they were like walking us around, like we've already been told like I'm not high risk, but like because I've got a big baby, like they keep telling me all these things, and they're
Mm.
like, no, no, it's fine, you can go into the midwife led unit.
Good.
But then on the phone, then she said something different, and I was like, no, no, I am going in there. And then we did eventually get into the midwife led unit after all that. But then, so I was greeted. This is where a bit more memory comes back. So I was greeted with two midwives. One was a student, and one was just normal. The student was lovely. She was like all bubbly and positive. And the other one, she just looked like she did not want to be there. Um,
That's what you want.
yeah.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, they took us to the room, which was fine. We had the lights off, and we had a projector with us, which was like a moon and stars.
Mm.
And I just wanted to be left alone, to be honest. And she just asked me like how often am I contracting, and I said it's a bit hit and miss, really. And
Mm.
then she was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait here and watch you until you have another one,"
Oh,
which put me to
that's
watching me.
that's probably going to stop you having a contraction. You've got an audience. You don't need an audience to do this.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
God.
And then nothing happened while she was watching, so she just left. And she's like, I'll come back." Okay. And me and my husband were just chatting, and I did have one or like a couple in the car, and then one in the car park, and then we hadn't had one until they left the room,
Mm.
and then they came back. I said that I had one, and then because of the waters breaking, they wanted to put me on the antibiotic drip,
Hmm.
um, which I think I don't know. I wasn't sure about, but I just didn't want to like rock the boat too much. Didn't want them to like hate me, so I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Um, so this is where it all went downhill because this midwife, she I think she started to try and take it from my arm like the cannula. Couldn't find she could find a vein because my veins are really prominent, but she just couldn't do it. And she went in and she came out again, and she went in again. And I was like feeling like quite violated at this point. Um, so she tried in and out 3 times, and then she eventually just got someone else to do it, and that person did it fine. But at that point, I just like broke down because I just felt like you just like bruised all my arm, like it was horrible, and
Yeah.
I was getting like flashbacks because I had a miscarriage like before Miles,
Mm.
before Blake, sorry, before this baby that I was having, that I had to go to hospital and have the cannula.
Mm.
So I was like getting like flashbacks from that. Um, so I was like really upset. And then when they came back in again, like they keep coming back in and out.
Yeah.
And
You did circus in there.
yeah, and then she just looked so annoyed. Like she could see that I was upset. And she was like, what, why are you upset? And I was like, because you just hacked at my arm basically. Um, and she was like, oh, okay. And and then I was just like, no, I just want a C-section now.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? you wanted a home birth and now you want a C-section. I was like, yeah, because like nothing's happening, is it? Like no one's supporting me here. You just hacked away at my arm. Yeah, she just seemed really annoyed by like that. And she said, well, we have to go to labour ward then. And I was like, well, yeah, I know that. I just said I
Yeah.
want a C-section.
We'll have a C-section in this room, aren't we?
So we went over to there, and then different people. Well, they were the same people. The student was really nice to me. Bless her. She was like trying to keep me calm, but also she didn't really know much. And yeah, it was just a case of waiting around, but then new people would come in, try and like sway my decision.
Mm.
Oh, you can just stay here now. Maybe get. I don't even think anyone even offered me any like Pepperdine or the other ones.
Yeah.
Or what's the one that induces labour?
The
Yeah,
synthetic oxytocin.
yeah. I don't think anyone mentioned it, but I knew about it like from looking
Mm.
at inductions. But I also didn't want that because I know it feels really intense. So just sort of in limbo really. Because like some people came in and sort of swayed my decision because obviously I did want a natural birth, but I didn't see how it was going to happen with like no support and everyone saying that there was that I was going to have a big baby. Um, yeah, me and my husband were like, we want the C-section, and then it was just yeah. There was one woman that came in, and she came in when Keith, my husband, had left the room, so she knew that he'd left. So she came in, she's like, "Oh, we've been talking about you outside, and we think you shouldn't have the C-section." I was like, "Why have you been talking about me outside? Like, it doesn't make me feel good."
No,
Um,
yeah, of course not.
but yeah, I was just thinking, why are you like, I don't know, I've never met you before. Like, you're
Mm.
just a new person that's come in telling me your opinion.
Yeah,
Um, and she did start, I don't know, when Keith got back in, he was a bit pissed off that she'd just come in and changed my decision again.
yeah. Bear me
Um,
1 second. I've just realised it's gonna cut
oh,
out. Sorry.
shall I leave and then come back in?
Yeah, if that's okay, because we've got like 10 seconds, and then we'll literally just pick up that from that. If that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'll cancel this. Won't cancel this one. I'll stop recording. Go for it.
Yeah, so people kept coming in and out. And there was one point where there was a doctor and they like looked at my file and again big baby, and because I didn't come for the consultant appointment and the additional growth scan, I declined though. Like, oh, we've got nothing to go on, we don't actually know how big he is. They were like, I think they were estimating £10. um yeah, so that was my reason for at that moment saying, yeah, so that's why I want the C-section because nothing's happening, and you've got all these risks. You keep telling me, like they kept saying about the shoulder dystocia, and there was something else as well. I don't remember. And yeah, and then there was a lot of shift changes, so I heard that all again by another doctor. Um, uh, And then at one point they said, well, I said, I'm so tired, I just want to rest. Someone suggested having an epidural so that I can rest.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, okay, we'll do that. And then they said, well, if you do want to still have the C-section, they'll just top you up.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, we'll do that. So then the really nice man who does the needle thing,
Anaesthetist.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
We'll go with nice man.
nice man. um, Comes with the drugs. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. He was alright. He did his thing. Did the big needle. Um, yeah. Epidurals are weird, but
Mm.
yeah. So I couldn't really rest still because I was in hospital. Like, can't really rest with people keep coming in and
Yeah.
noises and stuff. But I did have some hula hoops, so I was
So
like,
you remembered if they were amazing.
oh, you'll know why I remember it. Again, different information from different people. You can eat, you can't eat. You can eat, you can't eat.
Hmm.
So I had the hula hoops thinking I could eat, and the next minute I couldn't eat. Your C-section is in 6 hours. Your C-section is this how many hours? And then because you can't eat for 6 hours. I think that was the thing. And I'd eaten at 1 o'clock or something. Those hula hoops. So
Are
we
you
went.
traumatized by the hula hoops now and can't touch them?
Yeah. I am literally. So we went down for the C-section. So he was born at 11:48 or something. So quarter
Mm.
to the sort of time.
Mm.
Yeah, quite quick process,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
is, isn't it? I think people are
Yeah,
always quite surprised how quick a C-section happens. It's literally
yeah,
minutes, isn't it? Mm.
yeah. Because I asked that before. I said like, do they get shocked when they come out?
Mm.
Um, which she said no, not really. And then I said, how long does it take? She said like 5 minutes.
Mm.
So yeah, Keith got some like photos out, like videos. We were just watching them while they were like prepping me,
Yeah.
and then he was just out. And then the minute I saw him, he just weed, and I could just see him like all crying and screaming. I just felt really sorry for him.
Oh, bless him.
And yeah, and then yeah, and then yeah, but they did, and then put him on me. But yeah, he was massive. He was £9.15.
Wow.
Yeah, and his
He
little
was a big
face.
boy. Mm.
He was just like on my neck though, like where they like placed him, because there's not much room, is there, when
No,
they've got
not at
that?
all.
It just felt like he was on my face, like I couldn't see him, like
I mean, at that
um,
weight, you definitely felt him there.
yeah, and then he was sort of like to my side.
Mm.
Um, yeah, just felt a bit like out of
Did you
it.
feel, did you feel relieved to know that he was big after being told so many times that he was going to be big?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So I guess that
yeah,
was
I
part
think,
of the decision to have the C-section in the end was
yeah,
his size. They concerned you that his size would be too big potentially to be born safely.
yeah,
So I guess, I mean, people do birth babies that size vagina all the time, but once they put the idea in your head, it's really
yeah,
difficult then, isn't it, to think positively about it?
yeah,
Really, really
definitely.
difficult.
And there was one doctor that said that he was like in where the position he was,
Mm.
his shoulder was quite in there.
Okay.
I don't know, would have
So
been
before the
or not.
C-section, it's quite a long time since your waters are broken at 3 o'clock in the morning. The previous morning
Mm,
is born in the night. He's born in the night, yeah.
yeah,
So it would have been nearly 48 hours, nearly. Yeah.
yeah,
So it's quite a long labour. And I know you weren't practicing for the whole of that, but the later stages before you went down for the C-section and you'd had the epidural, were
yeah.
you ever getting any urges to push or anything like that at all, or was it just that you were feeling like you were labouring, you were having the contractions, but there was no movement at all, the
No,
baby?
no.
Okay, okay,
I mean, he moved a little bit, but not much at all. It was yeah,
yeah,
just a lot of pressure, but I
yeah,
just didn't feel like anything was.
yeah,
And then after that, that's when they're like weigh him and stuff. I could remember feeling really because I lost quite a lot of blood. I had a 2 liters transfusion,
okay,
so I was feeling like really tired.
mm.
And then I felt really sick. And then when they were weighing to the side of me, I could see him like being weighed with my husband. And then that's when I threw up my
I'm going to be starving now.
yeah. Um, but that was an odd one because I couldn't speak. I like went to say that I was going to throw up, but I like didn't have the energy to.
Okay.
And,
What was your healing like afterwards, in the first few days and weeks with the scar?
it feels odd. It feels like your organs are like moving about.
Okay.
Because like where the baby like slowly brings everything down, doesn't it?
Mm.
Whereas where it just gets plucked out of you. There's like it's all just still there, like
Yeah.
nothing's been like moved down slowly. So that was odd. Getting up and down, you just got to
Yeah.
go really slowly, otherwise it just feels like
It's
everything's
tricky. I guess tricky
yeah.
as well. I know you had your partner for support, but tricky to have a toddler as well at that age, at that stage,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
you're trying to heal and recover. So
yeah.
after the second birth, how did you feel like looking back? Now that's quite a long time's passed, 18 months. How do you feel reflecting back on that birth? Is it
Um,
positive?
no, not really. I think I feel neutral by it now.
Okay.
It did take a while for me to process it
Mm,
because I think that I wanted, just didn't get. I
mm,
wanted, I wanted everything to be at home and safe to stay and turn out that way.
yeah, yeah,
But with all the information I was given, I feel like I did the best that I had.
yeah.
You know,
You didn't know what you didn't know.
oh,
I say it all the
yeah,
time to people, you know, and I
yeah,
speak to people who say, oh, I ended up having a C-section, that's not what I wanted, and I feel guilty, and they have all these horrible negative
mm,
thoughts around the birth. Not always, some are very positive, and that's wonderful. Um, but it's because the information they had was all they had. There was nothing, you know, they weren't getting they weren't getting told anything else.
yeah,
They didn't have a midwife giving them all the options, all the
yeah,
alternatives, and you know things like that, or having someone maybe in their own life around them in family or something, giving them the support, helping mum believe that she can do something that she maybe thinks that she can't. I don't know, but it sounds like you didn't have potentially enough information on what was going on through your labour.
yeah,
I know people kept coming in and out and talking to you, but I get the feeling, just I mean, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, that they weren't necessarily having actual real discussions with you about
no,
your thoughts and how you're feeling physically, emotionally, you know,
yeah,
giving you time and space really to have a think
mm,
about things. And it's tricky, isn't it? Because they planted that seed of big baby. I mean, he was big,
yeah,
well, you know, it's
mm,
wonderful, but plant the seed and they don't talk about big babies as being a positive, easy thing to do. Not that labour's easy ever, that's the wrong way to say it. But it's always a negative. It's always a your
mm,
baby's big, so therefore it might get stuck. Baby might not be able to be born. You might have to have a C-section. You might have to have forceps or ventouse or whatever, you know. Baby's shoulders will get stuck and have a broken shoulder. It'll take ages to heal. And you hear all these horrible things sometimes from people. And it
mm,
doesn't have to be that way.
yeah,
It's unfortunate. I mean, it is what it is. You've had a
mm,
vaginal birth, you've had a cesarean birth, brought you your babies, which is wonderful.
yeah,
And everything you've done since then, I know will be completely healthy. Everything.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you for sharing your birth stories.
It's okay.
They're both
I like
both
talking
very different, obviously outcomes, but at the end of
about
the day, you've got your baby boys, and that's all that matters. You know, now that time has passed. So, give us a bit of an insight into your journey into health and kind of what you're doing now then with other families or people that
yeah.
you support and spread the message to.
Yeah, so I help families with essential oils, mainly. I got my oils when Miles was about 11 months old. So I was looking for something that helped with the immune system,
Mm.
just helping us all naturally, basically. And so, yeah, I used them for 2 years. They were our main like source of just helping us through any cross colds.
Brilliant.
When he had his first fever, just general like teething and like, stomach, and all like the common things you have with a baby, young
Yeah.
family. And then after a couple of years, we decided to do it as a business. So yeah, so I help other people get started with oils, and yeah, and
I
so I use the oils as well with Blake's birth throughout the labour
oh,
and
okay.
in recovery as well, putting the oils on me.
Brilliant. I love essential oils. I think they're fantastic. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't really know about them, do they? They don't know enough about them and how they can use them
um,
in just their normal everyday lives.
Yeah, I mean, like the first few that I tried, I didn't even look to see what was in there because there's like a immune system blend. Um, I didn't even look to see what was in it. I just wanted it.
Yeah.
It smells like Christmas, and yeah, it's really really
Oh,
lovely.
nice. What is in it?
So this one's on guard, and it's got like orange, eucalyptus, clove, cinnamon. That's it. Yeah.
And what would that be useful for?
So that one's for like any like immune support. So you
Oh,
put it
okay.
on baby's feet and diluted, or like with a roller bottle, or if you're already feeling unwell, you can put it out on your throat, or in your chest, down your spine, or you can just diffuse it so that it's like
Yeah.
keep in the air.
Oh, okay. I
And
mean,
it's
I
good.
know a lot of doulas and birth keepers use essential oils with
Yeah.
their clients, if their clients obviously want that. I use peppermint essential oil, or
Okay.
I talk about this with clients. If they feel they've got some trouble releasing the birth in the placenta, so you can use peppermint oil to support with that. It's just a couple of drops in the toilet bowl, which is amazing. To sit on the
Yeah.
toilet, and that can help. Also, orange, what's it called? Like citrusy, I can't remember the name of it, but it's stunning. It really smells lovely. And that gives them like a bit of an energy boost. They're feeling
Yeah.
quite tired and running out of energy, and they just need that little pick me up. I
Yeah.
use that one when I've been at a very long birth and I haven't had any sleep the night before, or I've
Yeah.
been there and it's now going into night time, and I don't want to have a coffee. I can't just keep drinking coffees.
Yeah.
So I'll quite often be sitting in the corner of the room just like sniffing on this little roller of orange scent, and this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyone watching this recording back, if they would like to know more about essential oils, where can they find you and how can they get in touch with you and have a chat to you about?
Yeah. So they can contact me on Instagram, or you've got Facebook as well. So I have a Facebook group, which I
Mhm.
can put in your comments or
Yeah, I'll add it with the recording. So everywhere that
yeah,
I share this, I'll tag that. And it's
yeah,
nurtured roots. Is that right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Nurtured Roots. Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well. Yeah,
amazing,
yeah, just
amazing.
send me a message or whatever.
Thank you so much for
No,
sharing your stories. It's really lovely to hear. I love to hear all kinds of birth stories. People think, oh, you're a doula, so you just want to hear about home births. It's not the case. I want to hear all the stories. And
yeah.
I
I mean,
think
I
it's,
love looking at so many different birth stories on Facebook on like home birth
mm,
groups.
yeah, I
I
love
just
it.
love reading them. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
I
just
love
so
it.
crazy. Like, they can all just they're all just so different.
They're all
It's
so different. And I think it's important. So, for example, where you said you were hoping to have a home birth, if you'd only ever just looked at home births, so you'd only just looked at that on you're on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, and you're watching home birth videos, nothing else, then if you end up having a completely different birth, that can kind of mess with your head sometimes.
yeah,
And because you've only really ever seen one side. And I think it's
yeah,
important that no matter where you're planning to have a baby or how you're planning to have a baby, choosing a planned C-section or vaginal birth at home, in hospital, free birth, whatever, you need to be mothers, families need to be aware of all the different options that are available to them and the different routes labour and birth can take.
yeah,
Yeah, you always get your baby at the end, hopefully, but there are so many roads to that.
yeah.
So I think it's important for people to hear all the stories. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. You've taken the time to spend all, this evening with me, telling me all of this.